everybody to the Lily Hopkins podcast, the only podcast that maybe Lily Hopkins listens to.
Who the hell is Lily Hopkins? Is that like Margaret Thatcher?
No, it's a cool small streamer who they're just really fun and wholesome.
When you say small, do you mean vertically small? Like
she's like a little VTuber that I found.
But is she vertically small? Like
yes,
is she
is
like 3 feet from the ground?
Pretty much.
Okay, gotcha.
And she has Tourette's, and she'll just occasionally have a popping fit, and it's become part of her brand, and it's really adorable. She's very pure and wholesome, and if she listens to this, god damn it, fucking shit.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't want to upset this woman, and I'm sitting there like, well, maybe she should pick up scat, like, and use that to help with the Tourette's, just like skip it about.
The only reason Mike is saying that is because I was just in her stream chat like yesterday or something like that, and then she was at the time of recording, and she asked me if I was part of a podcast. And I was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? I feel like it has to be some kind of cosmic coincidence. I don't think that seems so unlikely.
So here's the deal. I decided my Twitch name forever has just been Animaikaru, and I just decided I've personally decided to start to distance myself from English Mike, just because I not just call myself Mike. It's stupid name.
Well, an English Mike is kind of like a racist dog whistle,
I hate you so much.
I mean, it's not a dog whistle. It's just kind of racist. But that's besides the point. So I changed my Twitch name to We Hate Anime. I wanted to do I Hate Anime, but it was taken.
That's fine. It's more like consistent with the branding.
I was gonna say, you mean to tell me there's more than one person who might hate anime?
And Lily was streaming at the time. I was like, I'm gonna pop in, I'm gonna say hi. And Lily saw me, and I said hi. And I don't know if Lily recognized me, but I talked with Lily for a bit. It was, God, she's so fucking wholesome. It's too much.
It's great.
Well, but yeah, we're Lily Hopkins fan club. I'm Mike. You can follow me at Animaikaru. I'm gonna change that as soon as I hunt down the person who owns I Hate Anime and slay them and harvest them for their organs. Joining me as always is the Frog King.
That's me. I apparently make friends with people who I've never talked to.
You can follow him at Frog King, but the I is a 1 and the O is a 0. And also, is fucking a deranged sociopath.
I'm a sociopath?
What did Frog do this time?
No, Moth. You're the deranged sociopath.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, my favorite streamer is Van Darkholm. Give him a follow.
He is pretty wholesome, actually.
He is surprisingly wholesome for a man who single-handedly brought up the Asian leather daddy scene.
Yeah. Love that guy.
God, what the fuck, guys? What the fuck?
Wait, do you not know what Gachimuchi is, Mike?
No, I don't follow that many streamers.
Wait, you don't know what Gachimuchi is?
That's not like a streamer thing. It's that's the thing for the
no.
Time.
This is, if we're going to talk about anime culture, we got to talk about Gachimuchi because it's even been like paralleled in animes.
Okay. Gachimuchi is
no. You don't get it. You don't get to describe this one, Frog. You're not the one who watches the Anarchy memorial video made by Mao Tendu every time he goes to work out. I don't want to hear it.
I mean,
Mike, do you know who Billy Harrington is?
You're talking about Anarchy?
Yeah. That's Gachimuchi. All those gay porn stars from that era make up the Gachimuchi meme genre. Ricardo got his start as a meme because of Gachimuchi.
Oh, so I'm familiar with like a genre of that meme where people recreate anime openings.
Yes,
that's it.
That's Gachimuchi. All of that is Gachimuchi, Mike.
Yeah, it's all Gachimuchi.
I once had like 17 of those saved in my phone, and then I realized that and this is before I was like had realized I was bisexual, and then I realized at some point that if I leave those on my phone, I would have to probably explain to someone. I'm gay. Yeah, so I deleted them all, and I miss it because the Evangelion one is so insanely good.
There's a lot of really good ones. They've gotten, I mean, like, they always started as a joke. I mean, there still are jokes, obviously, but, like, they're jokes that have so much effort put behind them now.
I still think my absolute favorite one was where they redid the Super Smash Brothers intro using just, like, they actually had a guy sing it. No, because you've seen it because I sent it to you because it was amazing.
I believe it. I believe you sent it to me. I just also lack the ability to remember anything past 2 days ago.
That's fair. So I got a hypothetical for you, Mike. All right, I'm gonna run a scenario by you. I gotta have you using your think brain here for a second, okay?
This is a terrible time of day to ask me to do that, as my brain stopped functioning an hour ago.
All right, so all your previous managers died, and you were offered the position as manager at Walmart. You couldn't turn the situation down because like $100,000 a year just to basically walk around and be like, "Yep, people are stealing and smoking meth in the bathroom." That's all you got to do. You make $100,000 a year doing that, Mike.
Mm-hmm. All right, seems, I don't think they get paid that much.
On top of that, like once a month, you get to take all of your assistant managers out to like a free breakfast at IHOP to just pat yourselves on the dicks for being upper middle class. All right.
I thought you were gonna say. I honestly thought you were gonna say you're gonna take them out back and lassie them. But okay.
No, you get to drive a 3-year-old Lexus to flex on people. Like life's good. You're a Walmart manager now, Mike, and you buy a house.
The ultimate dream, Walmart manager.
And Mike, you buy a house. All right? You made it. You got your beautiful trans girl wife. You got your nice house. You got your 3-year-old Lexus. Everything's great. And then you start to notice your Jell-O pudding pops are going missing, right? Like your favorite snack to come home to after a long day of yelling at teenagers for smoking pot in the bathroom. You're like, man, my Jell-O pudding pops just started going missing. And you can't figure out what's happening. And then one day you're doing laundry in the basement because you live in Arkansas and everybody's laundry machines are in their basement in Arkansas.
That's not no, actually that's not how the soil is too like moist for basements.
All right, well you were able to afford a house that's got concrete walls so you can have a basement. All right.
Okay.
So you're doing laundry in your basement. You start noticing like sounds in the walls and whatnot. You're like, man, this is kind of weird. And you're just enjoying, your Jell-O pudding pop as you're doing your laundry, and your wife's upstairs doing her streaming job and everything. And you're not thinking anything of it. And one night you wake up at like 3 a.m. to go get yourself a Jell-O pudding pop, and you walk into the kitchen, and there's just this like pygmy, this hunched over mole man pygmy with his hand in your fridge, and he's holding a Jell-O pudding pop, right? And you quickly put together that this pygmy man has been living in your walls, stealing your Jell-O pudding pops, like using your bathroom at night when you're sleeping. Like you're wondering why your water bill is so high, and like you're wondering why your electric bill is a little bit higher than normal. You find out he's got like a Sega Genesis in your walls and an old like CRT TV, and he's spliced one of the cables so that he can run the CRT TV and the Sega Genesis, and he's up to level 99 on Dragon's Breath. Like this dude is just. He's been living in these walls long since before you got here, and you inherited this pygmy, all right? And
does this become an allegory for white genocide?
No, this absolutely is not. And the pygmy's looking at you, and it is like albino-ass pygmy. He's like, don't tell the cops about Jingle Jangles! And the pygmy like just starts begging, Mike. The pygmy just starts begging. He's like, Look. Jingle Jangles has gold. You want gold, right? Just don't tell on Jingle Jangles. And he crawls into like just a wall somehow. Like you're not even sure how. He just like lifts up the wallpaper because you're in Arkansas and they still have wallpaper in Arkansas. And he like lifts up the wallpaper and he like goes behind. He comes back. He's got a 5-pound brick of solid gold. And he's like, you don't report Jingle Jangles. You can have the gold. What are you gonna do right now, Mike?
And Jingle Jangle's real name is Bill Cosby. So the thing you just described, Moth, is like that's like a thing that actually happens sometimes.
I know. So what would you do? Jingle Jangles is holding 5 pounds of gold. His face is still covered in Jell-O pudding pop. It's like his finger, like there's definitely some Jell-O pudding pop on the gold. Like, and he's like, hey, just 5 pounds of gold. Just don't hurt Jingle Jangles. Don't tell the cops.
I would be like, okay, if a weird wall-dwelling creature was just like, hey, I have a bunch of gold. I just have it. I could use it myself and buy my own house to live in the walls of, but like, I keep gold in your walls. I would like, and of course, because I'm a higher up Walmart manager, maybe even a store manager.
Yeah, exactly. You're the store manager. That's why you're able to drive the 3-year-old Lexus.
I would probably at that point, have forsaken my socialist views and have accepted not communism, but good old fashioned capitalism.
No.
So
In America, it's actually called corporatism. Capitalism's dead.
Oh, you're
in
right.
America.
Sorry, that's true. Corporatism, because it's different. I would probably call the cops because I'd probably have given up my ACAB views as well. So I would definitely probably call the cops on the weird creature that lives in the wall. Almost definitely, in fact. Unless...
Why don't you just take the gold?
Yeah, like, why wouldn't you just take the gold and, like, give them that rest of the Jell-O pudding pops? You're a Walmart manager. You just steal them out the truck every delivery anyway.
I mean, you could just take the gold and then betray him.
That's exactly it. Here's the deal, okay? The possession is 9/10 of the law. I call the cops and say some weird old man has been stealing my gold, and he's been living in my house for like 3,000 years. Can you come pick him up? I need to secure my gold. He's threatened to me. Then bam, I get a bunch of gold, and I get a weirdo that was living in my walls arrested, because this evil version of me, it would be all about that.
Okay. The only reason I didn't ask Frog this situation is because he lives in Canada, where they actually take care of their mentally bereft. So,
It's a bit of a stretch, but I'll take it.
So, okay, you would actually betray Jingle Jangles. Like, the dude fought in Vietnam, he was drafted, he got injured, they had, like, inhuman experiments turned on him, they stuck him in a cage and poked him with sticks, and that's why he became a pygmy. Like, you would just betray that man.
This is Mega Mike.
This is Mega Mike.
If there's anything I've learned from good old-fashioned Rambo, it's that the American people are morally should make sure to disassociate themselves from any Vietnam vets, because they are bad.
I have to say, I think I watched Rambo for the first time in my life like 2 months ago.
Great fucking movie.
It's mind blowing. Like, one, that movie shows how incompetent the National Guard actually is.
Yeah.
And it's a movie, it came out in, like, 1978, 79? And it actually talks about police brutality, like, 20 years before it was cool.
And how shitty being a vet was.
Yeah, like, I mean, this is before NWA got big, so nobody really knew the cops kind of sucked at the time.
I don't think that was really... Yeah,
Okay, white people didn't know the cops were kind of bad at the time.
Okay, yeah, I'm right there with you. The only, like, weird champ thing about the original Rambo movie is that, like, there's an important black character that you never see, and he's just dead as soon as the movie starts.
Oh, you mean the one who died of HIV?
No, he died of cancer.
Oh, okay.
He died of HIV. This movie, if he died of HIV, this movie would have an anti-gay message.
No, a Reaganism movie.
Gosh, I got
a movie about how Reaganomics saved Korea.
Look, I wanted to ask a hypothetical question about pygmies, and now we're into politics. How the hell did this happen?
Because
it's a very political movie. You brought it up.
It's not a political movie, though. It's like,
what are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Rambo is explicitly
you just talked about how it was about police brutality and shit.
Yeah, but it's about police brutality that we care about when it happens to white people.
Oh, true.
True. Police brutality is only real if it happens against white people. I learned that.
That's what all issues are.
Wait, no, that's not right. Sylvester Stallone's not white. He's Italian.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay, Frog. I know this isn't common knowledge for your generation, but Sylvester Stallone got his acting career in a porno called The Italian Stallion.
I think Nicole actually let me know when we did the movie for that. Yeah, that was what it was. I believe that's on record on a different episode of a different podcast. And then I was learning that for the first time.
Please listen to the Fist of Film podcast, which is on a temporary hiatus because Nicole is smooching their partner.
Yeah.
Because Nicole's gay.
True.
Okay, so that was that was my hypothetical question for you, Mike.
Where the fuck did this hypothetical question come from?
Okay, so
what the
fuck?
I
play Monster Hunter with my wife and her brother-in-law, or my brother-in-law, her brother, all the time. And there's this, like, running joke with us where I apparently just have to come up with more and more obscure hypothetical situations while we're absentmindedly playing, because we play better when we're not actually focusing on the game.
Yes, that's true for most online games, honestly.
All right, so Frog, I got a question for you, right?
Okay.
I gave Mike a hypothetical. I got to give you one as well.
Okay.
So you have to go away on a business trip. Like you got to go to a Coder Crunch conference in Las Vegas, and somehow, even though being a Canadian in America for a month, you managed to survive. All right. So
I mean, it's not like fucking hell.
So you
it is hell. There, you if you walk down the street, you will walk past at least 3 public shootings.
Okay, I got to real quick. I got on a tangent, Frog. I went to Las Vegas. I want to say in 2012 for DEF CON because at the time I wanted to do Ice-T security and I was stupid. And I went to DEF CON, and for whatever reason that year they held DEF CON in a casino like they tend to do in Las Vegas. But it was one of those casinos that had a conference center. So, like, you had to go through the casino to get to the conference center. But this casino was a topless casino. And I don't think I've ever seen something so funny in my life as a bunch of, like, pale, nerdy guys coming into a conference center over and over again and getting greeted by, like, topless women. I, honest to God, just sat there at a slot machine and just watched these guys come in. Every couple, you'd like watch them meander in and they would notice the woman wasn't wearing a shirt. And you can actually see the moment where the fight or flight reflex kicks in, but none of them are capable of fight. So instead of fighting, they just shut down and they kind of get dull-eyed and just like wait for the girl to walk away. And some of the smarter girls had kind of realized that was happening and just would like wave to the guy because they realized they weren't going to actually get a coherent response from them. It's the funniest damn thing.
Anyway,
so
I'm at
so you come back a month later. You left your partner. To watch over the house, and you come back and you come through the front door, and there are just like anywhere from 3x5 by like 3 to like 12 by 24 by 36. Like there are just plastic and glass aquariums filled with cockroaches. And I mean, they're stacking the walls. They're in every bookcase. Like, there's all different species of cockroaches, right? All over the walls, everywhere. And you're just like, whoa. And you like, what's your partner's name, Frog? Or if you just
Gigi.
Gigi. And like, you're like, Gigi. And Gigi comes out, and they're like, hey, Frog. And you're like, what's going on, Gigi? And she's like, well, I decided I really like myrmecology. And, myrmecology is the study of ants, but, like, I'm going to say that because I don't know what the study of roaches is right now. She's like, I'm really into myrmecology right now, and, these are all, like, the different species we collected. You would not believe how many permits I got this last month to house all these. Like, your partner, who you haven't seen for a month, is now super into roaches, Frog. Like, their nightstand has a roach in a container next to it that, like, kind of chirps itself to sleep for you guys every night. Like, what are you going to do, Frog?
I think this is highly unlikely, given my situation, but I'm not that against it.
Oh, fuck you. This is viscerally upsetting. Fuck you. This is awful. This fucking my skin fucking started crawling as soon as here's the deal. As soon as Mouth was like aquariums, I was like, oh, okay, this is like, cause I know Frog is, currently in the process of getting, maybe a skink and definitely a frog. And, then, like, you then followed it with it full of roaches lining the walls. And I'm like, listen, I grew up poor and in the South, and every place I've ever lived in, except for like the last 5 years, has been a breeding ground for the most awful roaches. Like, to the point where if I see a roach, I freak out, and my entire mindset changes. Like, if I see a roach, I will then disinfect an entire, like, 10-foot area, 10 to 20-foot area, to make sure that I never see another roach. I'll put down traps and everything. Like, I would become a different person when I see a roach. So the idea of seeing a bunch of them in, like, fucking glass, I would have a heart attack. I would be
I feel like
dead.
I'm fine in that situation, because I know they're contained. I would just figure the roaches... I know you said that they were just about studying them, but I figured they would just be a food source for other animals, which is actually a thing. We're going to have to start breeding crickets here.
It's
not that
I was going to say, like, by the way, it's probably called blotology, because the order in which the cockroaches reside is Blotodea, and their relatives are Blotoptera.
Okay, Mr. Biomajor.
Look, I had to do the same thing when I set my name to Myrmophile on Earth Defense Force, okay? Like, I'm guessing it's blotology.
Isn't that when you want to fuck a mermaid?
No, myrmecology is the study of ants. And so calling myself Murmophile in Earth Defense Force was really funny.
Because they're ants, and you kill the ants, and then you fuck the ants.
Yeah.
That's what EDF is.
I love EDF. I'm arachnophobic as they come, and I love EDF.
I just think it's not a good game.
I'm arachnophobic because they come. Hey, Monster Musume, back on anime, baby. Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't tell you what I just commissioned an artist to draw, did I?
Oh,
you definitely didn't.
You did.
Oh, no, I told Mike. All right, so because I believe that there needs to be more chaos in the world. Frog, do you remember that one artist who for a while was drawing like Monster Musume meets like various characters from other media? Like it was Dale Grimble and Rachnera from Monster Musume. And there was like Samuel L. Jackson and the Lamia.
I think you have put this on my timeline recently.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Frog?
I don't.
Okay, they're like really...
I can imagine it pretty easily.
They're really poorly drawn comics. And they're intentionally poorly drawn. So I'm like putting the probe out to find like an artist to draw this for me. Because so far every single artist has turned me down. It's like some Wonder Bread curse. But basically it's Tito, or Teto, however you want to pronounce her name. She's the Vocaloid competitor.
Tito Dick.
Yeah, whatever. It's the Vocaloid competitor to Hatsune Miku, the red-haired one.
Dickman, baby.
Dickman! And she's shopping with the MC from Darling in the Franxx at Babies R Us in the maternity pants section. And on the guy's other arm, he's got Lamia from Monster Musume. I don't remember her name. And basically, it's Teto just basically saying, like, oh man, I can't wait to fill out these maternity pants after what you did to me. And then the Lamia is looking at the MC from Darling in the Franxx and is like, so when are you going to make it so I start filling out maternity pants, darling? Because, get it, darling? Because that was 00's thing that she would say. And the MC from Darling in the Franxx is like, bitch, you don't wear pants.
I don't understand.
Are you okay, Mike?
So I started playing Disco Elysium today. Today, on the day of recording, it's the 30th, they released a full, like, English language dub for the game, which is great because there's like 5 novels worth of text and dialogue in that game. It's kind of insane that they released this for it, and it's like pretty fucking good. And I gotta fucking tell you, that game is literally the funniest video game I've ever fucking played. Like, I've only played about an hour of it, and I laughed my ass off no less than 5 times. There was this moment, because if you don't know anything about Disco Elysium, it's a game where you play a cop, and you wake up in a hotel. It's the very first thing that happens, and you have no memory of your entire fucking life. Because for the last 3 days, you have been on a very excessive alcohol bender, and it has completely destroyed your ability to perceive yourself. Like, the first thing that happens is the lizard part of your brain is like, hey, don't you want to not wake up? Isn't being in this abyss super cool? And you can talk with your own lizard brain. But you eventually wake up, and you discover that you were in this hotel for 3 days, and you were supposed to solve a murder, but instead you got fucking schlit-faced. And it's really cool. It's a CRPG with no combat, which is
I thought it had some form of combat, because you have stats that go up and go down as things go on. Depending on the clothes that you wear.
Yes. Because it is still a CRPG, but there is no actual combat. Everything is skill check based. So, like, let's say here's a good example, right? It's the first time I died playing it. I was talking to the manager of that hotel's cafeteria, and I said he told me that I owed him $150. For the past 3 days, and for the fact that I destroyed part of the hotel.
Okay.
And
by the way, what year does this game take place?
It takes place in its own world.
Okay.
But it's roughly the 70s.
Okay. Let's say 1975.
I would say around there, yeah. But he said I owe him like $150, and like immediately part of my brain who it's part of my brain that helps, like, makes me, like, anthropomorphize things, and it is anthropomorphized my own. Yes, it has done that to my tie, and my tie is a character now. And the tie tells me, "Fuck it, get the fuck out of here right now. You owe this guy shit." And then the logical side of my brain kicks in and said, "No, you should don't fucking listen to him. Just talk to him."
By the way, that's $753 in today's currency that you owe this hotel man. So like 3 days, that's a pretty nice hotel if you're paying $250 a day, like $200 a day.
I would say that even though like it takes place in its own world, so the money's completely made up, but that's probably around right. Because you literally destroy your own hotel room. But anyway, I decided to pick the option to run, and I failed the check. Because it told me the 5% chance, and I failed it, because it was very low, but I wanted to see what happened. So my guy books it to the right, and it doesn't say shit to him, and then jumps in the air, turns around, and gives him the double bird, as he's colliding with a woman in a wheelchair. And then I told him to go fuck himself. I hit the woman in the wheelchair, and then I die of a heart attack, because I only have one hit point of health, because of how I chose to do my character's build. And it was the funniest fucking thing, because she wakes me up, and then the scripted sequence is over, and then immediately die from a heart attack. It was so fucking funny. And this game it's genuinely hilarious. Like, you call your, cause you lose your badge and your, and pretty much everything. So you call your precinct to report your lost badge, and everyone at they literally put you on speakerphone so that everyone in your precinct can make fun of you for losing your badge. And then one guy goes, "Next you're gonna tell me that you lost your gun," and your guy goes, "Well, of course I didn't fucking lose my gun. Just wait a second." And he pats himself. "I fucking lost my gun too." But you don't have to tell them that. So you can actually try and pretend like, "Of course I don't have my gun." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, what's it look like?" And you could ask your partners with you, "Hey, what's your gun look like?" And they catch you in the lie super easy. It's so genuinely hilarious. And I've only played like an hour of it, and it's so good, dude. It's so fucking good. It's hard to make me laugh at shit.
I've heard nothing but good things. I will say that the people I have heard good things from also think that Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale are good games. So I'm a little bit hesitant to trust the game. And there's also one big thing keeping me from playing this game, Mike. Anything with more reading than, like, say, Math Blaster in it is not something I can play.
See, that's why...
I like Persona.
I do like Persona, but the entire game is voice acted.
But here's the deal. That's why this new Final Cut that just dropped is great, because it's now all voice acted. Like, there's still some, like, flavor text stuff you can read, but, like, all the talking, like, you don't have to read it. You can just listen to the performances. It makes it a lot more... Because I fall asleep at these types of games, typically. Not because they're bad, but because reading a bunch makes me tired because my brain bad. But hearing one of the first people I talked to was a woman, and then because I have low stats, I say to her accidentally, "I want to fuck you," and she goes, "What?" She laughs in my face and then orders me to repeat that. To which the authoritarian part of my brain goes, "You don't have to fucking listen to her. She's a woman."
I mean, it's 1975. That's accurate.
And that's the kind of thing this game is insane in that way. Like, you can become a feminist, a race realist.
What, Mike?
You can become a communist.
Explain to me, what is a race realist?
It's someone that believes that race is real.
Like NASCAR?
It's best that you believe so. It's best that you believe so. You can hold any thought in your head. Like, one of the last thoughts I earned when I was playing the game, because they're basically skills. is that I became a hard shitter, and that my stool is so hard that it becomes a skill, and like all my shits are super hard. It makes my constitution a little bit better. It's a completely nuts game, and you can.
I'm gonna tell you the only benefit you actually get from increasing like the density of your dumps is sometimes it hits your prostate just right on its way out, and you get a little bit of a hardened pee-pee, and then your penis touches the inside of the bowl, and you got to cut your dick off.
Welcome to the real man's world,
dude. It is. I like. We're building a new house. I don't know if I've talked about this. I have. We're building a new house, and I made it perfectly clear that there needs to be at least one toilet in that house with an elongated bowl, because these like round happy circle bowls ain't dealing with that. You ever touch your pee-pee against the inside of a bowl, Mike?
I have a small penis, so no.
Okay, Frog, have you ever touched your pee-pee to the inside of a bowl while you're sitting down?
I suppose once in a while.
Yeah, like, isn't that just the most jarring experience?
Not really. It's just physics. If you put something near something, there's a good chance it'll touch.
Yeah, but like, then you get to the reality that you're the one who cleans the toilets in your house, and you realize you do it like maybe every 6 months. You're like, man, this is just, I
definitely clean the more than that.
Well, the mindset I go off of is that pee is sterile. So I figure if I just pee all over the toilet like once a week, it'll sterilize the toilet.
Generally a good call.
I've never had my penis touch the bowl, but I do have large pendulous balls that tend to brew tea when I'm taking a shit.
Do they really?
Yeah, especially when it's hot outside. The hotter it gets, the more they like to dangle.
Oh man, that's that's actually worse. Like, I'm surprised they don't immediately shrivel right back inside you when that happens.
They don't. Because I got used to it. And just
how do
imagine,
you get used
when I'm an old man, they're going to be uncontrollable.
There's like, you're reminding me of that streamer. I don't know if the meme's been getting passed around in your Discords, but there's a girl. I'm even gonna find the video, but it's this like. She looks like a girl, Mike. I'm all right. I'm gonna say it like that. She looks like a girl version of you, Mike,
Sounds
with
hot.
way shorter hair.
Sounds hot.
And she was like, "I'm gonna go on a date with this guy, and I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna have sex with him because I'm not going to wash my ass before I go out."
Yo, this is my kind of girl.
And then she'll be like, "So I actually think I really like this guy. So before I go on this date today, I'm gonna make sure I wash my ass. I'm gonna jump in the shower." And then this other time's like, this girl was like, "I bet he does you doggy style because of how ugly your face looks." She's like, "No, actually I force him to do missionary by not washing my ass, so he has to look at me."
Why is this?
Okay,
what is this?
This one in a
tangent?
This one a weird, bad.
That's what you're reminding me of right now, Mike. Like, you should never get used to your toilet bowl water on your nuts.
What?
I mean,
I don't know what it has to do with the other thing.
Well, it's just like, there's like a level of cleanliness. Like, your poop is in that toilet with your nuts.
You know,
you need to like wash your nuts afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm done, you typically wash my undercarriage. Like, do you not wipe your ass off?
Well, yeah, I do, but like in the situation which my balls have touched like poopy water, I would wash my balls.
Yeah, you're supposed to dry off your nether regions in general whenever you like fucking use the. Do you not like ever dab piss water off your dick?
Oh, I don't.
I mean, yeah, I do, but like, you gotta realize I don't live in a humid hellhole. Alaska's the most frigid, like, dry area you could possibly imagine.
Oh, see, I live in the rice fields, Gaijin. Like, it's humid as shit here. Like, I literally, if I go to the bathroom during the summer, if I'm at home, I have to change my underwear because of how wet it is. If I'm not at home, I have to suffer.
You know, that reminds me actually a lot of North Carolina when I was there. Did I ever tell you my story of when I was, like, because I have to go to North Carolina a lot for work. I did not believe, I think I've talked about this, I did not believe, have you seen The Boys, the show The Boys?
Yes, in fact, I wanted to talk about it, and you were like, no, I don't want to, it's a superhero show, we're an anime podcast, we ain't gonna talk. So yeah, I did saw that. Okay,
remember when they're like driving through the Bible Belt and they have those like billboards that are like, "Don't abort me, mommy, I could be the next Homelander."
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think those billboards were real.
Yes.
And then I drove from North to South Carolina. And it's just, There's just billboards. I could have cured cancer, but mommy yeeted me out of her uterus.
I live about 20 minutes away from a city in Arkansas called Harrison. And when you drive into Harrison, there's a giant billboard that says anti-racist is a code word for anti-white.
So, pretty normal.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mom, like, yeah.
I like how that's the thing that makes your persona just like wash away. That's the one.
It's just oh, I had a million responses go through my head, but I kind of am happy with my Twitter not getting bombarded. So I'm gonna keep them all to myself. No, it's funny you should mention that. If we're gonna smack ball sacks to ball sacks here,
I'll gladly
in Anchorage,
smack ball sacks
this
to ball
last
sacks.
weekend on Saturday, there was a giant rally in front of the Sears Mall in Eagle River, and why we still have a Sears Mall is beyond me. Or in Anchorage, there was a Sears Mall where it was a giant mask burning. So everybody got together in a parking lot, took off their masks, and burned their masks in a giant bonfire. And a lot of my friends, because I got a lot of woke friends up here in Alaska, and by the way, these are the woke people up here in Alaska are the reason I don't take the left seriously, because they are the most pants on the head stupid human beings on the planet, somehow worse than the conservatives. I don't know how. But they're like, we should go to this rally and beat these guys up. And I'm like, it's a self-solving problem. Just let them go have their rally where they burn the masks and then they all die. You don't have to do anything.
I mean that is fair. If we let Darwin do its course, these people would just deal with themselves. But personally, I want universal healthcare even for the people that are just going to kill themselves with COVID. I
don't actually know how you get COVID at this point, because I am the person who should have gotten COVID by this point. I work in hospitals. I work out 5 days a week. I lick my fingers when I'm driving all the time because I got nervous habits. And in a year, I somehow haven't managed to get COVID, despite the fact I live in one of the states that's taking COVID the least seriously. So at this point, I don't actually think COVID's real, and we made it up.
There's a decent chance you did have COVID. You were probably just one of the carriers.
No, because my wife didn't get COVID.
I guess that's fair. I mean, it's still potential. Like, being a carrier is about as common as getting actually sick from it.
I don't... COVID's not real. It was a conspiracy theory made up by the Chinese government so that they could cripple the U.S. economy and overlap us even further.
If it wasn't for the fact that I almost died from COVID, maybe I'd be right there with you. Because China do be sus, dog. China do be sus.
Dude, you didn't have COVID, Mike. You had swine flu. It was a new strain.
Yeah, no, I had swine flu because I'm a fat pig.
Though, fun fact, I will say, I do hope once COVID is actually over, when people do start getting sick and do start not feeling well, they'll remember, to put masks back on. Because they said the seasonal flu this year, flu cases were down 98%.
Of course, because, masks, especially during flu season, are kind of fucking good. They're good things.
Who knew?
Well, masks are great, because if you're sick, you put on a mask. If you're going to break into an Amazon store, you're going to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I encourage breaking into Amazon stores.
Welcome back, Frog.
What, huh?
Frog's over there. Frog's playing Uni on the podcast again.
What?
I honestly, at this point, I imagine Frog does nothing but play Underbirth in Night Remix Saga. I don't know what it's called, actually.
Frog, why don't you, do you care about the new Melty?
It's a polarizing question.
What if it has the a Konsky Blam Farts guy you like?
It's not going to, but I'm not a huge fan of original Melty, actually.
Faust is back in Guilty Gear, man. I mean, anything's possible.
He's in every Guilty Gear game.
if only Smoke would come back from Mortal Kombat, that'd make me so happy.
Foss is not a
love
surprising re-entry, really.
No, the fact that Bridget still hasn't come back is the surprising bit.
Moth over here is just like, can you believe the sole bad guy's coming back? It's crazy.
They're putting Kai in the game.
No, Bridget. That's the one I want to see back in the game, because I think as a society, Bridget can now move past the part of being a meme and be just fat material.
100%. Now, here's the deal. I 100% agree. We are currently in the renaissance of the
We're in the
boy.
gay renaissance.
100%. But I think if Bridget comes back, Bridget should come back swole as shit. Like fucking
Oh, yeah.
big.
No, I agree with you. No, I absolutely do.
Because, like, people be like, oh, yeah, they're bringing back Bridget. And then it's literally, like, that Buff Chie meme. Like, just fucking huge fucking guns.
Oh, you mean from
shit.
Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah, like, straight up just...
Biscuit.
They've changed Bridget into a grappler. Like, just fuck it. Just fuck
Just
it.
completely changed.
They straight up downloaded Zangief's moveset, didn't change a single thing.
Yeah,
It's the exact
just put
same.
Keith in. Although just Potemkin's in the game and is way better. They just put.
I heard you can't actually do anything against what is it?
Potemkin
Podman,
and
or-
fucking ridiculous in the beta.
apparently his hitboxes were so bad he couldn't do anything.
He had like I don't think it was 5 frames, but like he had like a ridiculous like standing punch, right? Like, you know, standing punch is like the fastest move in the game. And he could just, his hitbox for that was like, it just took up like half the screen. And he could just spam it. Oh my god, it was really funny. They're probably gonna tune him down a little bit. Maybe make his moves slower. I think they're probably gonna make his so his jabs can't be just like instantly pressed forever. They're probably gonna make them like single buttons.
Oh yeah, by the way, have any of you been playing Monster Hunter Rise?
I don't have a Switch.
No, I decided not to. But the reason I decided not to is because in Disco Elysium right now, and then in exactly a month, Nier Replicant comes out, and then a month from that, SMT3 is coming out. So I'm pretty good on games right now.
See, I'm kind of in this weird hell because like Monster Hunter Rise is my big game, and now keep in mind I consistently just go back to MechWarrior Online. Like that's the game that I just go back to because I'm boring. But it's Rise is out, and then I'm more or less like waiting for Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires to eventually come out? Question mark.
You're the only person in this fucking world that's hyped for a Dynasty Warriors game.
Dude, the Empires games, like those are the ones you got to play, man. Like the Samurai Warriors Empires and the Dynasty, or it's called like Samurai Shippoopy or something.
No,
but
the Dynasty Warriors games you play are the good spin-offs. Like
yeah, exactly. Like
Strikers.
the One Piece Pirate Warriors, the Samurai Empires. You don't play the mainline games; you play the Empires.
Yeah, I prefer like the really out there like the Hyrule Warriors and the Persona one. The Persona one's apparently really good.
Yeah, apparently it did what Persona 4 Dancing didn't do and actually lets you continue a meaningful plot with your buddies.
And it's not like a sextillion long stupid fucking bad video game now.
No, I know I've said this before, but I really did not like the sole purpose of Persona 5. The characters were not good.
The characters weren't good, and neither was the fucking story. That game's bad.
What game are you talking about again? I'm like lost.
There were 3 good characters. 4. I could count 4 good characters in Persona 5, so I can't even count them on one hand. I can count them on one hand. The gun store owner, your guardian, I think her name is Hifumi, the shogi playing chick, and your teacher.
Wait, Fumi's good? Like,
yeah, she's my favorite.
No, she's only your favorite because she has bangs and long dark hair. That's literally the only reason.
Look, dude, the one who reminds me the most of my wife is the one I'm going to sleep with.
This man over here is just simping and is like, yes, good character.
Wait. Did I never tell you guys the story? Like, so Freedom Wars. Did you guys ever play that?
I did.
Okay, so you know what Freedom Wars is on the PS Vita, right?
Yes, it's literally one of the few really good Monster Hunter clones.
It is one of the few genuinely good games that came out on the PS Vita. Like Soul Sacrifice, nah. But in Freedom Wars, you create a character and then you immediately have to create a warden. So you make your character and then you have to create a jailer that watches over your character and is super abusive. Like girls probably cream themselves making Sebastian characters for this game. Because
I'm pretty sure you're creaming yourself right now thinking about it.
I absolutely am. And I was just playing the game absentmindedly, and my wife like looked over while the warden was like kicking my dude's legs out from under me because I hadn't earned the ability to sit down yet or something. And she's like, "Why? What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's my AI. It's responsible for how many years I have left on my prison sentence." And I'm like explaining the game to her, and she's like, "Why does she look exactly like me?"
Oh no!
Like,
your wife has had to like confront the fact that you're attracted to really, like, you want her to do some fucking shit, and she's like, "I'm not ready for that."
No, it's just like, it's this thing. I love my wife so much that generally when I create a female counterpart, like in the Empires games, like, I always make myself, and then I always make my wife, and then we always end up together, because I love my wife.
Yeah, you love your wife so much, you want her to crush your balls.
I absolutely do not. She has been trying to gaslight me into pet play for like the last week, and I just will not accept this.
You should accept that. That sounds
hot
as fuck.
Demeaning as hell. Just because I'm into mommy dom does not mean I want to wear cat ears.
Man, that's listen, Moth, you're a cute guy. That sounds fucking adorable.
I'm a creatine goblin. I'm about to start murdering people.
I'm just imagining I'm just imagining the fucking video of Moth going, yeah. I gotta fucking DM your wife and just give her tips on how to fucking just fucking like gaslight you into wanting to be a pet.
Wait, let me 1 sec. Yeah, I threw up on the floor, mistress. All right, now delete that and never put that in the audio again.
Okay.
That was monstrous. That was disgusting.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, let's move on and talk about the actual weekly topic.
But before we do though, have you guys been watching anything? Any shows?
Oh, we were supposed to talk about Wonder Egg, but I haven't seen the last episode, and at this point, I don't even care anymore.
Apparently, the last episode is being delayed till June.
Is it?
The last episode came out today.
Oh.
No, you're thinking of Attack on Titan, Frog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Wonder Eggs episode was delayed by like a few hours, but it came out today. I'm watching the last 2 episodes after we're done recording, actually.
Cool. I have to still start it. Maybe we'll have an episode on that pretty soon. But I started reading a few things. I caught up on Promised Neverland, which is a thing I did. I finished that manga, which was interesting.
Bad.
We can maybe have a discussion about that sometime. That'd be interesting. I thought
there's nothing to discuss anymore.
Yeah, I don't like Promised Neverland, and I don't think Moth would ever be vaguely interested in it. So
I watched the first season, and I liked the mother and the sister characters. They were great, and I was glad they brought her back for season 2, but season 2 was so bad that I just don't care about it anymore.
Not the, okay, well...
It's not canon.
Yeah, no, that's the... Season 2 did some wucky, I don't know what even happened there. In case anyone's not aware, that's not how the manga goes, even remotely.
And then everybody was friends.
I think that actually the manga gets pretty good for a while, and then has a bit of a downward decline towards maybe the halfway point, and it goes just downhill from there. But I think there's definitely some good enjoyment to come out of the series for a long while, for like 100 chapters or so. I like it.
I think it literally is just some Hunger Games shit. And if you like Hunger Games and you want more Hunger Games, you might like it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a death game. I'm not saying it's a death game. I'm saying it's a young adult novel, and I read 1,000 of those in high school.
I think it becomes way more young adult novelty towards the end of it, but it still feels pretty shonen-y, I think, towards the start, especially around the Lewis stuff. I think Lewis is pretty cool. But guess what? Lewis is not even in season 2 because just did whatever the hell. I'm so confused.
Let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about a frog. Okay, here's the thing. We've all been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Yeah, it just ended recently. What do you guys think of the last episode? Or the last episodes, for that matter.
I still need to watch it. The thing is, like, we're not going to pretend Jujutsu Kaisen isn't good. It's got some phenomenal animation. It's a mangaka who really understands how to write female characters. And overall, it's phenomenal. It really is. Watch it. And the nice thing is, the mentally bereft are still really enjoying My Hero Academia, so you can actually enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen without molestation.
Apparently, My Hero Academia is entering its last arc soon.
It said that like 3 times.
Well, here's the thing. He had a last arc, and I think they actually extended an arc. They said, okay, that it was, I think, because who was it? Akira Toriyama wanted to be done after the Cell Saga, and his editor made him write the Boo Saga, which is why the Boo Saga just seems weird. And that's more or less
Boo Saga is the best.
And that's actually what's more or less happened with My Hero Academia. From my understanding, it should have been done an entire arc previously. By the way,
as is normal, everyone, please disregard anything Moth says, just in case he's just talking out of his ass, because that tends to happen a lot. Every single time I listen back to an episode I'm not on, Moth always says some like fucking hate, like fucking dumb shit, and it makes me so mad. So if right now you know the truth and you're really mad, just know that I can't correct him, but I feel you, man. I feel you. I've been there.
Well, My Hero Academia isn't even the guy's best work. Prior to that, he had an anime about furries at a zoo. Yeah, no, before My Hero Academia, it was a manga about a zoo, and all the animals had like their own tribes and whatnot. And a lot of the characters that you're now seeing in My Hero Academia originated from there. Like, there's a character that looks like Bakugo. Killer Orca is a character from this previous manga.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm still taking it with a grain of salt, but...
Anyway, you were saying Jujutsu Kaisen is really great.
I agree. I think it's...
Moth was going on a point about Jujutsu Kaisen and completely lost himself.
Yeah, I was going to say...
I like Jujutsu Kaisen. What makes me really mad is generally I don't like the... who is it? Who's the white-haired teacher from Naruto? My brain just went south. Kakashi.
Which one? Okay.
Normally,
there's 2 white-haired teachers from Naruto.
Normally, I don't like the Kakashi types, but like,
I would not say Goro is a Kakashi.
he is very much the Kakashi.
Gojo?
Gojo. I would not. I would say Gojo, like, it has like like he has a Kakashi flavor, but Gojo is not Kakashi.
There we go. Umagadoki Zoo.
Okay.
That was the previous work by an author who did My Hero Academia, and it's better.
If you want to hero your academias, go do that. But Jujutsu Kaisen is great. Gojo is literally one of the best main characters. Not main characters, but like
Supporting characters.
So main supporting characters I've ever seen.
Mike, I don't care if the audience can't see this, but I want you to look at the picture I just sent you. Tell me that's not Killer Orca back there.
That is
actually just him.
Orca.
Yeah.
Like that's you're not even like this isn't like you being you. That's just Killer Orca.
That's literally just Killer Orca. It's like the tie and everything.
Yeah, and if you look,
Holy
the character
shit.
that represents the lion looks a certain lot amount like Bakugo.
Wait, which one's the lion?
It's directly below Killer Orca.
Yeah.
It's the humanoid.
I would say it looks more like the metal dude.
Nah, his hair's too... Yeah, he looks more like the villain guy.
Look, all I'm saying is, like, I'm not making this up.
He's not. That's a thing.
That's just Killer Orca.
That's just him. That's an interesting reference, I guess. Kind of cool to reappropriate a character. What I was going to say about Juju, by the way, it's very good. I think, in terms of, like, shonen that's come out, I can't think of anything I like better than it. That I consider a shonen for that matter. Like, you know, like Chainsaw Man is in Shonen Jump, but I wouldn't call it one.
It feels, honestly, it gives me, like, it's weird to say this because it's not really similar, but like the type of vibes it gives with how it uses its cast kind of reminds me of something like the Yu Yu Hakusho, or more specifically a reference to an anime / manga I know I'm the only one who's read and watched, Kakaishi. Cause
oh no, Kakaishi's great with the barriers.
Yeah,
I love Kakaishi.
This, granted, Kakaishi is very much not the exact same thing, especially in the tone, because it's much more like, it's a shonen. It's more kid friendly.
No, this feels more like Demon Slayers to me, Mike. Obviously.
I mean, no, I like Demon Slayers, but Demon Slayers is not as intriguing as Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen set up a character as a main character and then killed them. And just fucking killed them.
He got better. he got better.
No. I mean, like he means like the other. This is an anime mostly thing because like they didn't have an opening in the manga obviously, but they did a cool thing. Spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. You should have watched it by now. Come on.
Wait. Are you talking about the guy who he like imagined being his buddy and like going to school?
No.
Coolest curse?
He's alive. What? No.
We're talking about the dude with the jellyfish familiar.
Yeah, that was an awesome power, by the way. I'm so sad that got wasted.
Yeah. So Junpei gets set up in the opening of the first half of the season. He says he shows up in the end with all the friends and next to Mr. Main Character, and so it's basically like setting up people's expectations to be like, oh, he's probably gonna end up like joining the main cast, and then that was dashed, and that was pretty cool. I think that was a cool addition to kind of trick people into that.
Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the few like pieces of shonen work where they will kill a character and the character's death will be final. And it feels nice.
Yeah, no. This is not really spoilers, but like I'm caught up with the manga, and people die. And there's no fake outs. People just die.
There's one fake out.
Well, if you count the first one, but that's like because like come on.
The cool thing about that fake out is that they give it away right away.
Yeah. They don't.
No one else knows.
If it's ambiguous, it's hard to tell. But if they like, say, if you see someone die, they're dead.
It's really fucking cool. I love that.
Yeah. Also, like, I had a discussion about this earlier. I'm not sure if we talked about it on the podcast, but like, yeah, shonen people die in this one. It's good. I mean, like,
that's another thing.
Shonen this one has a lot of stakes, actually. Like, this just Kaisen's like you feel like there's actually in danger like a lot of the time because people can just fucking die and they pop. People pop.
People
pop like fucking.
They just go bye bye.
I'm interested in seeing. Are you gonna read it after this, Mike?
Well, they announced that they're doing a movie.
Yes, they're doing a movie for the prequel manga called Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which is actually really important for the rest of it. I knew they had to put it in somewhere. I was wondering if they were going to do it maybe because like they had three episodes left after the last arc in the season. I was wondering maybe they're going to fit it here, but no, they decided to just keep going with another small arc that happened after that, and then shoot Jujutsu Kaisen 0 into a movie format, which will be interesting.
Now, can we just talk about the best power, though? Like,
Boogie Woogie? Yeah.
Boogie Woogie.
Boogie
best
Woogie is
character
fantastic.
With the best power, with just...
I adore Toto.
Toto's great. It's a character that, like, I just kind of... I hate that I like him so much, but Toto.
I love Toto.
Dude, he's the most mothcore character I can imagine. Like he's a big himbo who loves fat asses and like when asked how his power works, he's just like it just does.
I have no idea. No, my only downside with him is, and this should not actually be that unknown about me, but I really don't like idol stuff. I don't like idols. I don't like VTubers. I especially don't like HoloLivers. So, like, that's the only thing about him I don't love.
I'm sorry, Lily. I'm sorry. I tried to, I couldn't help it. Please don't stop listening to us.
It's I don't hold anything against them. Like, I don't think they're bad people. I think what they do is fine. It's just not my cup of tea. And my biggest issue is I can't go into a single one of my Discords and go into the anime channels without people simping for VTubers. And I'm tired of it. I'm not like, oh man, VTubers are bad people. It's like, nah, dude, I'm tired every day.
Have you watched Pika-Me for like half a second, bro? It's amazing.
Like 20 people debut every day and they don't get enough followers. So they re-debut a week later with a not safe for work account. And then that maybe works. And then they collab with other. It's just, I'm done. Please, just no more VTubers. Leave me alone.
Yeah, but that's how that's how I felt about isekai as a genre. And then but a good isekai comes around. I'm like, wow, that's a good isekai. And there are good VTubers. Pika-Me is
amazing.
Very fucking good.
Just in the same way that I have to have like a favorite football team or a favorite basketball team, which is funny because my favorite basketball team no longer exists. Like I do have a favorite VTuber. It's Toa. But that's only so that if somebody asks me the question, I can be like, I like that one. And then just leave me alone now, please.
You can just say you don't like it.
Well, no, I have to, like...
It's fine to not be into it. It's just like...
I have to maintain a certain level of social decorum when I'm on my job site. And believe it or not, I've been working on an MRI, and one of the techs been like, do you know about HoloLive? And I'm like...
That's amazing.
I really like Toa's rendition.
Okay, that guy, I feel bad for that guy, because, like, no one asks that in public. That guy has run out of options.
Dude, if you're an MRI technologist, you have Asperger's. Like, pure and simple. Like, and it's just... I can't tell certain stories about my job, but just know that if you work on MRIs and that's your main system that you work on, whether you're a technologist or whether you repair them, you are cripplingly autistic, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I don't know.
Having autism
and I'm
A-okay.
I'm saying that because my main modality is MRI. I'm like,
I mean, to be fair, everyone on this podcast is on the spectrum somewhere.
Oh,
yeah,
are we gonna
Toto's
talk about neurodivergence so I can bully you guys again?
Toto's really cool. I like him a lot. My favorite character is Fushiguro, my little edgy boy.
You mean Sasuke?
Really
You mean cooler Sasuke?
No.
I really like
my beautiful boy to the Poopy series.
I really like my non-binary Hammer Queen. She's
also amazing. Actually, well, I think Nanami also is one of my favorites. He's really great. There's a bunch of really good characters in it. And the best thing about it is it doesn't flood you with a trillion of them.
Here's the deal. It does, like, flood you with a lot of them, but they are all winners. Every single character who they ever introduce is like, yeah, they're all really good.
Because
like,
it doesn't just introduce a shit ton of them and then just kind of leave them for a while until eventually you get back to them. It's like, oh, here's what they do. They're really cool. Moving on.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, MHA. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to call out my hero. Because, like, fuck, man. So many of those characters are completely useless. Like, what's the point of that dude who can talk to bugs? Literally exists for no reason. I don't even know his name.
Dude.
No
He's
one
a fucking
does.
worthless waste of space, and so is the girl with headphones. Like, oh my god.
You know, I really like the dude who gets stronger when he eats sugar.
That guy's also worthless.
Not really. Like, if you go into diabetic panic and take out the planet.
Listen, the girl with the headphone jack, she's good. She just shouldn't be in that.
She's fine as a character, but she's not, like, useful or cool.
But the arc where she does the festival is it's cute. I simp. I simp.
So Trigun.
I read it and I still don't care.
So I will say this. So for this week, our actual main point of topic was supposed to be Trigun. And I'm actually really glad I watched the first 6 episodes, because I was going to bluff with what I remember from the show, because I really had no desire to sit down and watch this. And I would have been called dead on the carpet, because I totally watched a different part of the show than the first 6 episodes. Well, okay. So if we had started this, and everybody would be like, oh, so
how do you manage to mess up the first 6 episodes?
Well, like, if somebody was like, hey, Moth, how was the first 6 episodes of the show for you? I'd be like, oh, it was great. Him and his brother were on a spaceship. His brother killed...
Oh, stop. Frog has never seen Trigun, and he's probably gonna watch it.
I would have gone off of that point. Like, and I would have been found dead on the spot of not watching it.
Yeah, everybody, spoilers for the first, I guess all of Trigun.
Man. I was like, yeah, in episode 4, he killed that guy with the saxophone. Don't you guys remember?
Oh, man. Okay, Trigun is, okay, so that wasn't a huge spoiler. That there's 2 kids on a spaceship. That's fine. I've already told Frog that Vash is an Aryan super soldier, so... it's fine. I don't want it, like, the big spoilers in it. I don't want it.
That's not a spoiler if I have no idea what he's talking about.
That's true. It's true.
But
I'll associate it with something later, but whatever.
So let's talk about Trigun real quick. Trigun is an anime that, much like Hellsing, was absolutely ruined for me in high school, because the same people that I wish to commit acts of violence to would never shut up about it.
And then you watched it, and it was super fucking good.
Yeah, it is. Vash is actually very much the type of character that, and I hate to do this, but, like, I like him. I genuinely like his cowardice. I like the fact that he's incredibly good at a lot of things, and yet he actually doesn't want to be violent. I like Vash.
I think Vash is one of the best main characters in anime.
I just wish you'd stop simping for pedophilia.
Yeah.
What?
He do. Okay, he's like, spoiler, he's hundreds of years old. And
no, he's like 38. No, he's a streamer. He's a Twitch streamer who talks about social economics. Vash.
You know that girl Frog that's tied up in the saloon episode? That her father owns the town and they're trying to get ransom money out of him. You know that girl?
Yeah.
She's like 14.
Wild.
Yeah, because
I mean, she doesn't look it.
well, no, you do the math when you're like, yeah, 15 years ago he took over the town. You're like, Oh, she's at the oldest. She's 17. Crap.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but like she doesn't look it at all. So like,
none of the young children in that show actually look like young children. Remember the flashback when the girl was talking about being 3 years old and she looked like a full-grown like 7-year-old?
No, I do. Okay, so even in the show where there is clearly a full adult woman, Vash will simp for her, and then it will be revealed that no, he met her when she was a baby, and he's known her since then. And it's like, ooh, stop it, please stop, it hurts.
All aboard the prison bus.
But I love this show. It's great. Like, I can accept the fact that, just like Mushoku Tensei, I can accept the fact that our main character is a creepy pervert, because he's still really cool.
I definitely, yeah. This is also an era of the 90s. There's a point where I just give an anime a free pass. And honestly, when your anime aired at about the same time Bill Clinton was still president, I let you do whatever. Like, honestly, whatever.
So I actually, I want to, because Frog is the person who went in as a Trigun virgin, like completely knew very little about it other than it's like the anime classic. So I want to hear what Frog thinks of the first few episodes.
It definitely feels old, and I don't mean that badly. I just mean it has like a lot of those tropes that kind of I feel like a lot of new anime's grown out of somewhat in terms of like pacing, especially. Not that it's like I think I had a good time with it for sure, and I think but I definitely had a better time with the last two we watched, 5 and 6, because they actually started kind of getting
to the plot,
explaining things, which it takes a while to get to anything like meaningful about the plot. Yeah,
I will say though, the way they handled episode 1 was nice. There's a lot of animes where they try to get as much plot out the door as physically possible. Trigun, it's taking its time, and you're not enjoying it while it's taking its time. You're like, yeah, you clearly know this guy's Vash. Vash. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Vash the Stampede.
Look, you got two pedophiles with names that sound exactly the same. This is gonna happen.
Oof. Yikes.
So, you know he's powerful. You know who he is. You enjoy the gags where the girls don't realize he's Vash. Like, you enjoy it. And it takes its time, but you're not hating those first 4 episodes.
No, I never said they were bad. I think, but it definitely, like, I was definitely, like, more interested in seeing, like, where it would go. By the end of the 4th episode, I was just like, come on, alright, let's pick it up a little bit so I can, like, learn what's going on. It doesn't, like, ever say it's welcome for too long, but I feel like if I was watching this weekly, I would have given up by now, by that point, just because nothing had happened, and it was getting very episodic. And I like episodic series, don't get me wrong, but in terms of how episodic series can go, I wouldn't say it's, like, my favorite. Like, I think, like, a perfect episodic series is, like, I almost said Jujutsu Kaisen, well, like, Kekai Sensen is, like, my favorite kind of episodic series. Which is an incredible, I think it's the best way you can do one that's not like a comedy. That's like the best kind of episodic series. And it gets there, and I like where it goes, and I want to see more of where it went rather than where it was. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think so. I do think that the opening episodes, like the first 4 episodes where it does plot-wise meander,
yeah.
I think it's important for the world building.
I think so too. I understand where that's about, because like you need to kind of establish what the heck's going on with everybody else, and also kind of set Vash up in his character. Because like if he's strong right off the bat, I mean you like Mott said, you kind of infer that, and you'll be like, yeah, you expect him to be strong. But,
yeah, so this thing called visual storytelling.
But the fact that he like he's consistently like this. It's not visual storytelling. The fact that he's consistently like this.
I was trying not to get triggered.
Like outside of like serious situations, he's always kind of in the same mindset of like, peace or whatever. That's important to establish for sure. Love and peace.
Love and peace.
Love and peace.
Love and peace. That's important to set up. I completely agree. I think it's kind of similar to like the early episodes of Gurren, right? Setting up like Kamina as being like this super amazing bombastic guy and stuff before ripping the cord out from under our dicks.
And even more than just setting up like Vash, like it is important that we see like he's a guy with this huge $60 billion double dollar debt on his head that people obviously want, but it also sets up the world that they live in. It's a world of poverty and riches, of the haves and the have-nots, and there are people that are being exploited actively. And the first 4 episodes, like, you could have just jumped into it, but allowing, like, seeing the different ways this manifests itself throughout the different cities, as well as also showing, like, because they talk about the plants, but they never actually, like, even in the first 6 episodes, even because the 6th episode deals with the plants, they never explicitly say what they are. They say it later, I believe. They're terraforming devices to terraform this planet that is a desert wasteland into a livable environment. And, there are people that are fighting in this post, like, on this planet, they're past, like, there's an ancient civilization that provided all this, but that is hundreds of years past. And now everyone is fighting over the last dregs of livable, location on this desert hellscape. And the first 4 episodes really set that up, I think, pretty well. And I 100% agree that it does tend to meander a little bit. Like, you could take 2 of those episodes and probably combine them into one.
Yeah, you absolutely could. If I were to take it, I would say the ones with the sheriff's daughter, or not the sheriff's daughter, the mayor's daughter, you could definitely combine that one. And probably, no, because episode 5 was pretty vital. I don't know.
I think you could combine that one with the guy who owns the fucking the
water supply,
the oasis of water.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think those are 2 good episodes.
Maybe if you combine the first and the second episode.
See, I actually I like the first episode just being its own thing.
Yeah, first episode, like, I think you can get away with that in the first episode. Like, that's fine.
I think though, I love the second and third episodes. I think if you just cut one of them, it would be more cohesive.
I like the one with the guy, the drunk dude. That one's good.
Yes, that episode's fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, the drunken gunsmith was great. Didn't do anything for the plot. Absolutely did nothing for the plot.
I mean, the first 4 didn't do anything for the plot, other than set things up.
Yeah, but no, yeah. I definitely think the drunken gunsmith was great.
Yeah, so I think that one's my favorite out of the 4. That's just kind of meander, and
I also just I do want to totally applaud the show's like it's restraint, because Vash he's a gunman. He has a big, cool, fancy gun, and to just like let you know that this is a dude that's all about love and peace. He never fires that big, fancy gun for fucking 4 episodes, dude.
He also doesn't kill people for a very, very long time.
Yes,
and then
like a very long time.
And just spoiler alert here. Eventually, what causes him to kill somebody is somebody playing the saxophone at him. It takes somebody playing the saxophone for him to finally snap and kill them.
Yeah, I can't talk about it, man. I can't. I've told Frog. Me and Frog talked about this. All the villains in these early episodes are cartoonishly like obvious villains. Like,
yeah.
Like, you have the one dude who's an evil scientist who rides in his giantess son's pocket.
Yep.
And he smokes a giant cigar and only has 3 teeth.
No.
He might as well be Wild West old Dr. Wily.
Well,
Dr. Wowie?
Wowie?
Yeah, no, it's like
Dr.
that,
Wowie.
and like the first villains episode of one. Oh my god, that dude's he's like a fucking he's like the guy in the first episode of Fist of the North Star,
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
like Heart or whatever. I don't remember.
Dude, you're not supposed
God,
to.
that dude.
I throw boomerangs.
But
Yeah, he throws
that
giant
dude's great.
boomerangs.
I
He has,
fucking love-
he has elephant ears and like giant. It's ridiculous. And the second episode, it's like this. It's not as cartoony. The second guy you can kind of get away with. He's just this kind of meandering, kind of big nosed. Oh wait, hang on a second.
he's capitalism.
Yeah. And the third
Um,
guy though, it's like this like skull man.
But later in the series, when the gung ho guns appear, there's one gung ho gun who is insane. Like he's probably the best character in the whole show, and his whole thing is that ideologically he 100% like believes in what the main villain believes in. And that's his shtick. Like, he will never break that ideology. And the only way Vash can confront that is if he kills him.
Yeah, but to be fair, he has a saxophone.
It's really fucking great. I do want to say, I think I told you this, Frog. This is the kind of show that will have, like, it has moments that are like Cowboy Bebop serious moments, where, like, it's super serious, but also the main antagonist's name is Billion Knives.
Okay, let's not forget the part that Axel from Twisted Metal is in this.
You could probably,
And Dr. Eggman is
What?
in this as well.
I don't know.
Mike, look up Gray the Nine Lives right now and tell me that's not Dr. Eggman.
I won't. I will not. I believe you, because this show's cartoony and fun, but I will not do that. Fact-checking ruins podcasts.
It absolutely doesn't, actually. And you know what? You keep talking about the things you enjoy, and I'm gonna send you guys this picture of Dr. Eggman.
I'm hoping that
So,
at some point in the future, maybe we watch some more of this show. That'd be fun to talk about, I think.
Oh, would you want to continue this for the podcast?
Yeah, we can do like
Because
six episodes at a time or something.
I just
I'd be okay with that.
okay. You know, I'm commandeering the podcast. We are going to talk about Code Lyoko, and
I mean, I never said we were going to do it like, next week or
absolute-
anything. Just like at some
the
point.
absolute abomination that was Code Lyoko.
I don't know what that is, but maybe at some point.
Code Lyoko is a French anime.
It came to America, and somehow as Americans, we managed to turn 50 minutes of CGI animation into 26 episodes.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
No, it was just, it's a French cartoon that we got, and then we turned, no, we didn't turn 15 minutes of something into a show.
No,
That's
no,
not
it
what
was-
happened there.
Oh,
Code
I think
Lyoko
I've
was
seen
just a
this.
French cartoon.
It's the one with the foreheads.
Yeah, no, it's
Yes, it's the one with the
it's
foreheads.
something. I gotta actually look into it. But when we got into America, we completely butchered it, and it's saying something when you manage to butcher something the French made. Because they also made that movie with who's Hellboy? Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent here. The City of Missing Children. Like, you know, if we butcher
I
something,
don't want to watch this. This looks bad.
yeah, it is bad. But you're not going to watch it. I'm just going to tell a story about how we managed to butcher this horribly. And you're all going to believe me
Okay.
because none of you want to fact check.
All right. So Trigun is fantastic. It's kind of surprising that this show, it's a Mappa show, and it looks budget.
This
It
is
looks
Madhouse.
broke. Like the show
not Mappa.
has no money.
No, I'm-
Madhouse,
no,
whatever.
yeah,
definitely
Mappa
the
started
big
in
difference.
2012, Mike.
Whatever. Madhouse.
Yeah, the Madhouse anime. Yeah, I thought
I started
was
sundowning
bringing this
3
up
hours
earlier.
ago.
What the hell is
That this show looks cheap. This show is like,
Man, I always...
I mean, at least the first 6 episodes are. This is like a shoestring kind of thing they just kind of made, which is weird for a Madhouse show because you know Madhouse has just a reputation nowadays anyway. At least it used to. Back before they started making just the same thing over and over again.
And it's kind of crazy because even with how cheap it looks, it has that old anime charm to it still. Like there are so many shots where you can see like cell errors from them changing the cell.
Mm-hmm.
and it's not bad. Like it makes it like cuter in a way. And I actually appreciate the cheapness of the show, because it's not like modern anime cheap where shit looks generic, because it still looks its own way.
And I should mention here, up until I want to say like 2004 to 2006, somewhere in that era, you have to realize any anime that you want to crap on, somebody had to hand draw 12 frames for every second you're watching a lot of the time.
I mean, that's every show. That's not just whole
no,
show.
but like the amount of effort that went into animating back in the day compared to now, it's not even comparable.
Oh, we're not having.
We
this
are
conversation.
absolutely having
This
this.
is dumb.
So in the 1930s, we stopped
This
animating.
is like a constant misconception. Anime is not easier to make.
It is absolutely.
It's not easier. They still have to draw all the frames.
Just because we overcomplicate it now doesn't mean that we don't have tools that make it easier.
Drawing on a tablet isn't any easier than drawing on paper.
It absolutely is, Frog. Because I pick up my pen and my tablet connects with my Neuralinks and it draws immediately what I want to draw. It's so easy.
That's true. It's literally it's automatic. You just press the make animation.
All I'm
button.
saying is
really
modern
cool.
Japanese animators have nothing on the Fleischer era.
The harder you press it, the more animated
Yes.
it is.
In fact, Newgrounds Animators was the last stand of hard coding 24 frames per second animation, and they're all dead.
Thank God. All right.
I think Mike just had a stroke.
I'm not
gonna let this talk. This is a constant misconception, and people talk about this a lot in the anime community too. About how like, oh, they're so lazy. All the animators are so lazy. Like, it's not lazy. It's all production costs and values and time that have to be put into it. Usually the animators are not paid enough. And they don't have enough time.
Well, if animators weren't,
it's just as hard to make anime now as it was back then. Arguably harder because of how the standard of quality has risen.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now that maybe if the animators hadn't been so lazy, we would have gotten a proper final episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
We got a whole movie.
I'm going to strangle you.
Yeah, a whole ass movie.
The end of Evangelion is a giant FU to the fans, right?
What?
No, it's not.
Yes. Why is it? How? How is it even?
It's literally not.
No, it's what it is he was so mad about all the
Mom,
death threats that he got when he tried his hardest.
Shut the fuck up. This is up there with they had no budget to finish the anime levels of misconceptions. No, this is how it was planned. You can actually see that in the original. Like, anime has cuts that are in the movie in it, and I don't mean like rough edits. I mean like actual like scenes in the last like two episodes. Like they were already making the movie when the fucking show was happening. I hate you.
It's a giant. No, they changed the. Okay, you can actually see halfway through where they changed the movie.
No,
the movie was going to be where it was, where Asuka saves the day and everything's great and wonderful, and then they.
Wow, that would be a weird ending for Evangelion.
That would be that would literally not be what Evangelion is.
Yeah, that's why, like, after the final episode aired and everybody was sending him death threats because they were too lazy to finish animating and all that good stuff. He changed the movie. And that's why at the very end, when it shows everybody looking disappointedly at the
Evangelion towards the end of the anime series is like an existential nightmare, and it continues to be that. Why is that surprising?
Apparently I can't speak my truth because I keep getting cut off. So we're gonna end this.
Yeah, you know what? This is the authoritarian anime podcast. I am your fucking thought leader. You will not spread this banned knowledge to the masses. I will control you. You're dead.
It's gonna release a comedy special on Netflix called Censored or something, man.
Actually,
this is a bad take, though.
By the way, Mike, at one point I am going to force you at gunpoint to watch the first 3 episodes of Code Monkeys again.
Listen, just because your fucking Discord avatar is that fucking southern bastard
Mr. Larity
doesn't mean you can get me to do shit. I'm not touching. That show is locked away in a deep trauma, hidden vault in my brain. What you don't realize
is, like, Mr. Larity was way ahead of his time as a feminist because he encouraged women to feel good about their bodies. One of the girls approached him trying to sleep with him. He goes, "Nah, you don't have nearly enough stretch marks for me. You're too dainty and small,
I don't think you understand what feminism is.
Feminism is stretch marks. Feminism is stretch mark acceptance. Just like Meninism is skid mark acceptance.
And with that, I think this has been the We Hate Anime podcast. The only anime podcast that doesn't clean their drawers.
Dude, have you ever done that thing though, Mike, where like you take a dump and you think you've wiped good enough, but you're not sure, so you sit down like 20 minutes later.
We came full circle with wiping in the toilet.
Yeah, we did.
I want to come full circle on your
So,
face.
have you changed your opinion on Jingle Jangle, by the way?
I'm gonna jingle your fucking skull off your fucking body into a river in Minecraft, in real life, online.
Why are you so hostile?
Roblox. It's kind of Mike's brand.
Yeah,
on
right.
the
Really,
podcast.
like
I don't know how you even noticed
here, Frog. He likes fighting games. He plays fighting games while we record. I'm jovial. I like talking about things that are fun and make people happy. And Mike's over here like, if you watch the socioeconomic policies, the assassination of the Russian monarchy was actually good. Moth is an idiot.
I mean, arguably speaking, the assassination
Was an
of the Russian
absolute
monarchy was
annihilation of core Russian
What are we doing
values that
next
they
week,
have
Mike?
not recovered from since.
What are we doing next
no.
week?
Unironically, the assassination of the Russian monarchy led to like some pretty good things for a while, and then some real bad things. Anyway, next week we're going to be talking about Katanagatari. Katanagatari episode 4, baby.
And after that, we're doing seasonal, I believe.
Yeah, after that it should be seasonal. Yeah. I can't wait for the next episode of Katanagatari. It is it's the one where you get to watch Shichika get that razor thin sword from that really cool swordsman dude.
Is this the part where they fuck?
No. But that'll happen.
All right. Well, cheerio then.
What are you, British?
No, Frog, you've watched all the episodes, and he just referenced it, and he's only watched like half of one episode.
Cheerio, then.
Get with the program,
Oh, yeah,
Frog.
she says
That's what
Cheerio,
Tagame
doesn't
says.
Wait, who says Cheerio?
It's.
I don't remember.
I'm a honey nut bust in that pussy if you don't shut the fuck up right now.
Which one says
Podcast
Cheerio?
over.
Is it the girl? She says Cheerio because I remember now. It's like she is because her catchphrase. And she doesn't know that it's like that's the. I'm gonna stop recording now.